Hello, everybody. Brian here, quantlabs.net. We are just getting wrapped up here for the good old MotoWave. Okay, so we're about to go on YouTube. All right, so let's talk about this. More protests now. Yesterday, I believe in Minnesota. It just won't stop. It's probably going to kill off the performance of the U.S. overall. I think it did last time. I don't remember, nor do I care. So right now, the question is, will the U.S. Reach its peak this week? Looking at these charts, you would think so. Australia USD still in play. It's either flat or going down. There's very few things, with the exception of oil longing. Here's Nasdaq, but this is common. You can see here that the price is higher than the long guidance, so that's meaning maybe it has reached its peak. See here, pound against the British pound against the Japanese yen, flat but short call. The Australian dollar the same. Sorry, the British pound against the Australian, pound against the franc as well. Interesting how the USD Canada, which is an oil play, usually is short. It's been very choppy since the 28th of March. Here we have a short for USD franc, for Swiss franc. So that just adds confusion. So what you would traditionally think as safe havens, USD Denmark, the peso, the USD Mexican peso's got a short. Here we got a bunch of silver. Couple of longs here in Australia, Canada, Swiss franc. So we can see that those are still in play. Same in the pound. These are longs, I'm saying. And then two calls for silver in Hong Kong. We have two silver in Swiss franc. Now, I find it interesting that you have two calls there for Hong Kong dollar, which must mean something. Let me just see what else is going on here. We have one for Japanese yen, New Zealand, and then two more for the Singapore. Australia, Hong Kong has got a long, Singapore has got a long. So maybe, just maybe, it says something about Asia that might start longing now. Maybe economies have opened up with a virus and all that. Here's an interest. This one really caught me by surprise. Euro and pound is longing and performing. Yeah, that's euro and British pound. Euro and Hong Kong is got a long and performing. Very interesting. Here we have a long again on our other safe haven. Flat though lately, but with a long there, as you can see. So here we have two more interesting things going on with Sweden. Starting to perform, but still has that short. I probably still consider that. Here is another thing we need to consider is Hong Kong 33. So maybe, just maybe, something is brewing in Hong Kong that we don't know. New Zealand 25 short. That's an index there, market index. Thailand's another interesting area. I got a couple more calls, but this one's at its peak here. Same thing with the Nasdaq again. Pound in Australia got a short. This is another critical one, but it is starting to show weakness here. That's US Chinese yuan. So that's a short. So something not looking good for China, but oddly it's looking good for Japan. For Singapore and Hong Kong. It makes sense as an alternative safe haven because that's where basically, let's call it, the wealth is going. Another short here for the USD Swiss francs, same with USD Denmark and USD Mexico. This is an area that we need to watch, is to know if there's any classic reversal. You can clearly see here we have two calls for USD South African Rand, a pretty big long call there for one of them. So that might be a place where there might be signs of reversal. Another here, we have here Swiss Hong Kong dollar. So there might be some growth potential there. Canadian and Swiss franc, pound against the franc, just going down, not looking good. Let's see here. Here's one that's not doing too good. And traditionally, you would expect this to do well. As the pound in the Polish zloty, it's short and it's just not performing whatsoever. Again, watching that rand, pound against the rand is got a long. And here's another big one that we have to watch that confirms everything. Is you can see this choppy move from March 7th, been really flat sideways since around March 4th, really going nowhere, and it's a short. That's copper in US dollar, and that's two of those. So that is not a good sign. Again, that must be for the virus reasons. Australia Japanese yen's not looking good. Let's see. I would have hoped to see the Swiss franc to do better, but we have here two big shorts. Well, not big. 1 out of 3 that are not looking good for Australia. Switzerland, not so much. Australia, actually, it's kind of weird. Australia Canadian has a long. I can't really talk about the Canadian. Canadian Japanese is short. 2 more. Okay, this is the best long that I've seen for the Nasdaq. It's fairly long, but here's another one that's saying what I think is really happening is that it's really a short now because the Nasdaq has overshot its peak performance for the US. That's why I'm saying has the US markets reached its peak this week. So it might come off because of that. UK 100, big short there. That's the FTSE. US top 30, another short, fairly steep actually. Here's Brent crude. This is the encouraging thing for Brent crude with the long there, still flat. Pound against the franc, short there. Well, we have a somewhat of a long here for the USD Canadian oil play again, hint, hint. Gold in Australia, gold in Canadian, longing, 2 in, actually 1 out of 2 in Swiss francs. You can see here, it's been just going nowhere. Here in, you're not seeing, this is the first time we're talking about the euro. Gold and euro, slight long. Same with one short, 1 long for the gold in pound. Same with gold in Japanese yen. So this is not a very strong, convincing say, yeah, going to gold. Gold in Australia, long. I'm sorry, that's gold in New Zealand, gold in Australia, long, gold in pound, long. Australia, Swiss franc, yeah, it's probably a short. There's 3 of those, 2 out of 3 shorting. Okay, let's check out even Australia, New Zealand, which I was hoping to have be good. Got a short there. Euro, top 50, big short there. Euro in Australia, long. Euro Canada, long. Euro and Swiss franc, short. So that's bizarre with the euro. 2 longs for Australia and Canada. 2 more shorts for euro, Swiss franc. Oh, 1 long, so 1 out of 4. Now we're just so you know, we're moving into very good status here. Mixed short there with the euro, Czech. Euro Poland's not doing too good. But again, we have a long here for Hong Kong 33. Yeah, but a short here for Singapore. So Hong Kong is looking pretty good, actually, I gotta say. Pound against the Singapore, short, long, 2 of those. Thailand, oh sorry, this is Taiwan. Interesting, we got 4 of them. And I would say 2 out of 4 are fairly strong longs. 1 is a big short and 1 is pretty well flat. UK 100, short there. So what I'm taking away is Hong Kong's looking okay. It's consistent. Nasdaq long, Nasdaq short now. 30-year. Here's the real, doesn't really go anywhere. You can see how flat it is, but there's still a short call for the US 30-year. Let's see, the 5-year. It's got a long, this is where I get very confused about the US. So short long term, which would make sense for the 30-year on the long bond, and 10-year as a long. So mixed. If the markets don't turn around, the US will be back into trouble. I'm hearing that the US dollar is not performing. I can always guarantee that by not seeing a lot of currency pairs in US dollar as top pick. Same with the euro as well. It's very mixed. US Canada, long again, but choppy. Here we have USD 2 shorts in Singapore, oil with a long. That's very encouraging. Same with Brent crude. Natural gas got along, again, encouraging. Here are we getting in some agriculture, soybean short, one long, corn short. So mixed story there, not predictable. Canada, Hong Kong, Canada, Japan, all shorting. Pound, let me just see. So we only got 4 more. Pound against the franc, short. Again, Hong Kong's looking like the place to be for now. No more Scandinavia, which I thought, but again, this could change at any point. Pound against the Hong Kong, Singapore against the Swiss franc is shorting, dropping too. Rand against the Japanese yen got a short slight. And then here we have platinum, short and dropping. That's pretty well it, not looking good, except for Hong Kong. I think things are, for Nasdaq's looking short there. That's the one that's kind of carrying it. I'm not seeing the top 30 for the US is not looking good. I'm not seeing the other major indices like the S&P as well. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.